Marty Coleman here, Hydra Sailing Solutions. This is Charleston VX race number 2, and this is Sendit, and on Friday. So we're going to take a look at this a little bit and talk kind of through this. And here we go. So just tacking over. Right here is the course track that we have. We have boat speed, and then we have acceleration and deceleration on this side. So let me make this a little bit bigger. Let's play this out. Getting on a port a little beforehand, getting time of distance is always important. And we'll turn the sound down once we get should be a little more vocal on time. "25 seconds. Should always be counting down every couple seconds right now. And go. So just again, don't know exactly what the velocity time and distance is there, but very, very important to do it. Really like being up port minute and a half ahead. They're probably on starboard about a minute ahead. And but again, Bill needs to stay focused just on making the boat go fast here, and people around got to make sure that they're giving them options if they're getting covered, but really got to make sure that the boat's going through the water max right now. So if you look at the track here, really had a lot of tacks early on. Doesn't look like right now we're at 95 degrees, coming off the line, and maybe a little more like 80 to 95. But again, looking backwards too much, Bill, you got to be totally focused on boat speed and mode, especially off the starting line. But lots of tacks here, so I think very obviously trying to avoid those. I know it's pretty shifty. I was on the J70 course too, but really got to make sure you try to reduce this amount of tacks, because it doesn't look like there's much shifts in that. If we look at the racetrack on the other race too, we can probably see that. Tacking back over. One of the things about the VX is having the right heel angle, and I think that's very important. The boat's very flat, so you want to have the right amount of boat heel angle to get a lot of the wetted surface out of the water. And that requires a lot of main sheet trimming and easing. I like having the cleat down low, kind of where you're pulling off of, like we do on most normal boats. Some of the VXs pull off up at the boom. I tend to like this, but Bill, you got to be looking forward, going fast here too, okay? Let everybody else kind of talk to you a little bit about what's going on, but you got to be trimming and easing the main on this boat, especially being it so puffy and easy. You want to keep that kind of like a laser. You really just want to keep the heel the same on the boat. So I'd like to see the main sheet a little bit more active in this in these kind of conditions. 99 degrees. So if we look here a little bit, 108, a little bit of a righty. Coming back here on this tack. So just trying to play the shifts here. Very shifty and puffy, same as ours. So I'm not going to get too harsh on the tacks, but always you're trying to reduce those tacks. Try and stay on the lifted tack here. Boat speed starting to come back up here a little bit. There we go. Boat speed's back up now. Making sure you come out pressed on the jib. Ease the jib just a pinch to give you a little more power, and then you can squeeze on once you get the power going. So I'm going to kind of speed up in here a little bit. But again, like to see the main sheet a little more active in here, and the heel angle be more consistent. I think that really is the key on this boat. Tack, just trying to pick through lanes here a little bit. Pulling data down off the server here, so let's give it a second. All right, so back here we go again. Like the heel angle here is good. I think that's good right in there somewhere, just about. Just leeward side doesn't dig out. It's too much. There you go. Try to keep the boat, constant heel angle. All right, so let's get through here a little more. Hopefully the video doesn't pause up on us again. Let's pause here. Let's move forward a little bit. So that's really it. So if you look at the first beat, just want to make sure that, off the start, looking forward, really so important to keep the boat going as quickly in the right mode. If you can bow down and go faster with nobody below you, huge gains. You get bow out and you can cross a little bit earlier. So let's watch the set in here. So we're coming in with a mark. So current's just starting to go from left to right, looking upwind. So pushing you away from the mark a little bit. All right. So one of the things, let's back up just a little bit. So the mode here, very important, the VX too. If you want the high mode and go straight, everybody should be looking, is there puff over your shoulder or is it an early jibe? You got to protect the high road. I think these guys actually end up taking these guys super high. And unfortunately, boats get inside of them a little bit here on this set here. So let's see, there's the winner mark. Making sure the vang has a preset mark, so you know exactly where you want it on the reach legs. And off you go. Speed. Boat behind him jumps up on him. So now, yeah, just protecting a little bit. Not a bad set. A little bit quicker. Try to get it going just before the offset next time. Just a little bit. Looks like the guys behind him may be in a puff. Just sailing a little bit lower. Like to see a little bit more main movement in and out. There you go. It's coming up here a little bit. I know you're protecting on 287. That's going to be a bit tricky. But you got to remember, the boat's got to get more than 90 degrees to windward of you to lose your overlap. So try to soak down in the pressure when you can. And try to draw those guys down a little bit. But you can see the white boat already to leeward's getting pretty strong. I think there's actually almost even foul these guys here. A little slow coming out, still slow coming out. Look at that. See, boat slowed down. You got to come out and put the bow up. Yeah, there you go. That's the problem, right? You had another boat coming across there. And now you can go. .278, 282. So knowing what your jibe angle numbers are. Downwind's actually very hard to know if you're on a lift or a header, but need to still work on those numbers with the pressure, because pressure changes the angle that you're at, and trying to get comfortable knowing what the pressure angle is So you can tell if you're on a header or a lifter is a talent. It's something that needs to be practiced and worked on. So what do you got? 285 now. Boat's doing almost 13 knots. Again, I would work. You don't want the boat totally flat either. A lot of wetted surface, so make sure the boat stays a little bit lifted. Try to get some of the wetted surface off. Try not to be totally flat. You can do that two ways, right? Either coming up or with body weight. So just trying to do a little bit of both. Actually coming in a little bit, helping on that. Letting the jib out a little bit. Or skiff jibing, maybe whether to do a skiff jibe in these things. Something to try. I bet you'd be a lot faster. You can see really how, probably okay, right heel angle. But knowing what that is on this boat is very critical. Let's see how we come out of this jibe. Again, very flat a little bit. Get the boat, pump the boat up and get it ripping. Then the apparent wind goes forward too. So a little bit slower. Don't know if it's a little bit less. Should have a halyard mark so you know exactly where it is. I have a little orange that I stitch in. That's really nice to know. Then you always know exactly when you hit it. Boat speed's coming back up. Could be pressure related though. Like looking up, looking for pressure. Really nice move here. Speed things up a little bit. 12. Again, looking at your numbers, trying to get those jibe to jibe. Getting a little sense of if you're in a puff or lull, because those numbers will change dramatically whether the wind angle does or not. I like that you guys stay inside the ley lines here. Inside the ley lines, up and downwind. A little more pressure right now. 14 degrees, 3 foot. So yeah, you're down. Here we go, John. Had somebody to windward of you. Jibing back. So pretty much ley line here. Nice job on the boat over there. Well, that guy probably jibed right in front of you. I'm going to pause here. And I think a knot got stuck in the, what's this watch? You got stuck in the halyard. I'm going to take down on this one. Oh, you saw it right there. Yeah, just kind of looped it. Not a big deal. Just got it snap it out. Better than the guy behind him. Couldn't have done that if he tried. All right, off we go. All right, what do we do here? A couple little tacks. Looks like maybe this was a nice coming back on starboard. Current's getting stronger the more towards the later end of the day here. Just get a sense for, current rise, what you want to do. So I would like to see a little more main sheet action. It's like if the cleat wasn't there. And a little mark here. Oh. Mark here somewhere. Tails out. Did not make the mark. All right. Remember, try to adjust the current, helping or hurting you at the mark. Do you take a couple sterns and have a chance to come back at it? A lot of tacks right at the top there to make all that done. Let's see how this set goes. Here a little bit. All right, downwind track, kind of the same thing here. Key for us was staying in the pressure, right? I mean, this boat responds, I mean, you can probably sail 15, 20 degrees lower easily with more pressure. The apparent wind just goes forward, the boat accelerates. It's just such a win-win when that happens. So really trying to fight hard for those. And then just through the jibes, trying to get faster out of the jibes. So we got a jibe coming up here. Here we go, coming down on speed. Speed coming back up now. Here we go. A little bit flat right there. Get it ripping and then squeeze her down. Just come out a little bit soft sometimes on those. Looking up, looking for pressure. Just be careful you're not too flat right here. These guys came up on, maybe into pressure too, but so just two little mistakes. Well, I guess the non and the halyard, and then just kind of missing the winter mark on the big picture of things. Just a little more main sheet action in general, and that's probably about it for this race. Nice job.